Happy Jurassic June, everyone! We are going to take a tour of the Jurassic Park 30th anniversary store today at Universal Orlando. This store is themed after the making of the original movie. Outside, you'll find some props, including the sick Triceratops from that iconic scene. Walking into the first room of the tribute store, we're in a making of Jurassic Park, almost like a museum. They've got some like makeshift models and some examples of how they actually created the effects and how they planned out the effects when the original movie was made back in the 90s. You've also got some production photos, as well as like placards that show you, or excuse me, that tell you how some of these effects were made. Because, of course, in the 90s, you had some CGI, but not nearly to the level that we have now. In this room, there's also some really cool merchandise that celebrates the original movie. We're going to take a look at that as we walk around the room as well, but this is definitely where you're going to find some of the more unique things. We've got that big T-Rex head in the middle, and then above you, you've got kind of a model that's reminiscent of the big iconic skeleton that hung and in the visitor center in the original movie. So there's a look at the T-Rex head. And this is on the other side of the room where you're looking after the sculptures have been made, after the scenes have been filmed, and a little bit more about how they do some of that CGI, or excuse me, how they did that CGI back in the 90s and what that really looked like. There's also some like really cool little Easter eggs here, like like old tech and scripts and stuff like that. And now let's take a look at the merch. I love these stickers that have the original opening date of the movie on them. We've also got some Mr. DNA merch, of course, because everybody loves him. You've got some shirts, some drinkware, and stuff like that. We've seen some of these items before, but now we have them all in one place, and there's also a little bit of an expanded selection. Here's some more of that opening date merch. We've got a shirt and a shot glass, and this is my personal favorite, the InGen stuff. Super understated, but still pretty cool. We've got a lot of different items with the InGen logo on it. Now we're going into the second room, which is labeled as a sound stage, but here's where you're going to find some of those photo ops that you've been seeing around social media. Right before we go into those rooms, we do have some cases with some memorabilia and kind of references to the movie. And then we go into the star of the entire store, some of these photo ops. We've got the raptor in the kitchen, of course. We've got some ladles and the overturned cabinets that we all know. Here's a picture that I took of that dinosaur. Then on the other side, we have the Dilophosaurus with the East Dock sign, as well as my favorite photo op, the T-Rex bursting through that restroom to get the lawyer guy on the toilet. And here is my picture that I took in that photo op. In the next room, we have one more photo op, which is the raptor coming out of the electrical wires. He looks really, really cool. And then we go into the final room. Once we enter through the arches, and in this last room, we have one of the coolest things I've ever seen in a tribute store, which is a huge display case full of like vintage 90s stuff. There's stuffies, there's video game cartridges, there's Pogs, which makes my 90s kid heart very happy. And to close it out, my brother's old backpack. Thanks for going on this tour with me. We'll see you next time.